Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 3 of our Revell's 57 Chevy Bel Air Snap Tight Max kit. Got a bunch done, still got a ways to go yet. We're 12 days in on a Snap Tight kit, so we've been having a lot of fun. Let me get the guys out of the way and we'll start. Got a lot of stuff to do today, including including a short segment on how I use QuickShine to highlight my frames. So let's start that, and we'll go on from there. All right, I've been talking about QuickShine now for several years, and I've had a bunch of questions on what I do with it, how I use it, how I spray it, how I brush it. Today, I'm going to brush it. When I say QuickShine, this is what I have. You don't need to get the 64-ounce bottle. Trust me, this is what they had. This is what I grabbed. It'll probably last me an eon. Honestly, I'm afraid that it's going to go bad before I use it all up. What I did do, though, and man, I tell you what, I've looked like 14 times trying to find who gave me the idea, but I've been putting it in a pill bottle. This thing's stable. It doesn't really knock over. It seals tight. And the only thing I don't have is a label on there that says QuickShine. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to QuickShine the interior here just real quick. And then I'm going to show you I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I want to show you how that QuickShine looks when I'm doing these frame rails. So right off the rip, what I do is grab spoons. These are the colors I used on these. So what I want to do first, and I want to show you, and I'm just going to get a soft, one of my soft flat brushes here. This one is what I usually use for QuickShine. It's nice and soft. I have no clue where it came from. Probably Amazon, because it has the barcode on it. But it's a Grumbacher, I don't even know, flat, Plano, number 1. There you go. Take a picture of that. That's what I use. I love this brush. I have done car bodies with this brush. But what I want to do is I want to show you right off the bat. And I'm not sure. I've never shaken my QuickShine ever one time. I always just dip right out of the jar. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dip in. I'm going to give it a couple of wipes off there, and I'm just going to come up and look at that. And I'm only going to do half. And the reason why I do this is so if I want to use some other technique, a wash maybe or something like that, I can put it on the QuickShine side and see what it does. And then I can also do what I want on the flat side too, so that I know how that's going to react. But see, that's all it is. It'll give that a nice semi-gloss look. So we'll start. I'm going to back you up a little bit so it's not like getting cross-eyed here. And I'm hoping the camera doesn't flip back and forth. But this is literally how I do this. Now, I don't want to get the carpet. I want the carpet to stay flat red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here, and I think I want this and the card in the back and this to be flat also. So we're going to just start with the bench seat here. And I'll come up like that. I'm going to put my visor down. I will try my hardest to not smack the camera. But see, this is all I'm going to do here. Is just come right up that edge. I'll give it a line just to show a straight line on there. And then we'll go to town. That's the hardest part. The rest of this is just put this stuff in and pull it around. You don't want to go over it a whole bunch of times, just because it will streak. And I put way too much there. We're going to pull this out this way. I had way too much on that brush. I was talking and not paying attention. So we're going to take some away, put it up here. See how it went down on that carpet? A little bit, but we can fix that with a little bit of the flat when we're done. I am going to do these sides. We're going to do the top of this. Do this side. We'll pull that up from here and out of that corner. Just like that. We're going to come all the way across because I'm not sure if the door placard will cover that up. Now we'll get the seat. There we go. Just do. This is easy. It's quick. It's fun to do. And it does darken the color up a little bit. And I'm trying not to get bubbles on there. But that's those two seats. See how they darkened up a little bit? Now we have, I want to clean this just with water, just back and forth in my water bucket that I have over here. I'll hit it with a paper towel. Well, it's a t-shirt. But I'll hit it with that. We're going to get that out of the way because I want to use this brush now. And it's just a pointy brush. That's all. And it's well used. You can see it's even bent over because I hold it the same way every stinking time. But with this, I'm going to get some on that brush. And I'm going to come down. And I'm going to do this floor mat. Right here. And just tight up against the edge first. And then go to town with it. You can see it spilling out a little bit. This is really had too much on there. I'm going to come around here. I'm not sure what that line is on the carpet, but we'll go ahead and line it out. And same with this little piece here. Not sure what it was, but it won't hurt. But there you go. How's that? See how that's shiny off the mat? I'll take the flat red once that's dry right here. Once this is dry, I'll take flat red. I'll come over top of that, and you will never know, and back here too, you'll never know that that was, that ran on there. It's very forgiving. So there is the chassis. Let's grab this. I will come down a little bit. If my head gets in the way, I'm sorry. But I'm just going to dab some on here and watch this. Look at the difference that makes. And this might take me 45 minutes to an hour because I do like to get really, really close to the frame or to the chassis. All the way on all three sides. So it does take me some time. It is a little bit tedious, but I'll tell you what, I sure wouldn't want to try to mask this and with, you know, with everything there. That would be way too much work for me. Especially on this with the exhaust in there. You can see that's a little drier than I want right there. That's where I started. So we'll dry that up. And I'll bring it all the way up here. And all the way back. Just to make that nice and even. Now we'll keep going here a little bit while that section dries. And you see right now I'm just doing the tops. And that's just so I can keep this in frame. Because I will have this 2 inches away from my face while I do the rest. But tell me that doesn't look good. And it's easy to do. It really is. This is almost kind of like therapy work for me. You know, where you just get in the zone and go. I love doing it. And then I can come in here and I will paint the exhaust the silver, and we'll really detail this thing up. I'll probably, well, for sure, I will run fuel lines and brake lines. Emergency brakes is going to be tough because the way they have the exhaust sitting high on here. So I'll probably skip all of that. There we go. And but I will get just the, you know, the brake lines in and stuff like that, just to show them and show off some of this awesome detail. But this is fun. And I'm going to keep going here as this cures. Once this is cured, I'll bring the other one over. We'll look at both of them, and I'll move on to bigger and better things, and you don't have to watch anymore because this is the whole shebang right here. And it does make a huge difference. I think it's easier to spray flat black on a frame. And my reasoning for that is because if you spray extra flat black, it's still flat black. Or if you try to go semi-gloss black and you overlap it too many times trying to get into the little nooks and crannies, it has a tendency to gloss up even more than you want. So that is my main reason for doing this, is I can control the amount of gloss and where it is. So if I masked that and tried to spray this all semi-gloss, first off, it'd all be one color. And second off, there would be glossy and less glossy areas on here. With the Quick Shine, if I have a section that's a little bit less glossy than the other, I just put a little more Quick Shine on it and move down. But when you're doing semi-gloss black, you're pretty well stuck. And the other thing this does is for these high spots, is it will put a hardener kind of a little bit, hardens it up a little bit. So if you're setting it on the ground while you're trying to fit something in or something like that, and you drag it, it's not going to have a tendency to scratch like flat black will. It kind of tightens things up a little bit. But this is fun. It really is. And like I said, this is easy to do. It just takes a few minutes. And it does make a huge difference to your chassis. And when I'm done, I'll show, when I'm done with the build, I'll do my music montage, and I'll show everybody a good picture of how this chassis came out with the exhaust on it and everything like that. But see that is 90, well, that's dry right there. And look at the difference between that and the flat. That's pretty awesome. Let me clean my brush off a little bit. I gotta get a paper towel going here because I'm using a piece of t-shirt. I'm gonna put the lid on this just for a second. There is the body. You can see that overrun over here. Again, I'm not worried about that. I am going to paint this black, the pedal black. I might even paint that rubber matte black. I'm not sure, because I am going to do the centers of the seats with a black. And I'm going to do flat black on them too, and then I'll quick shine them. But here's that flat black with the semi-gloss, dry as a bone. And then same thing with the red on the flat. See how much of a difference that makes? And it even darkens it up, I think, a little bit. So there you go. That's my quick shine. Let's get back to the rest of the update, and we'll keep going. Okay, as you see, the quick shine's all done. You saw that all our detail work is pretty much taken care of. I was thinking about running fuel lines and things like that, but if I was building this kit, if I was building this one-to-one, and we're stooping it up just a smidge, I would run those fuel lines in through the frame rails so they were hidden and out of the way. The way these exhausts stick way up like this, I would have to really make the e-brake stuff look weird, because it'd have to go underneath and then over the drive shaft, and it just wouldn't look right. I tried a couple of different ways laying it out with the solder and decided we're just going to leave this the way it is. But next thing I want to do, and I've had people ask me it a couple of times, is I want to do the exhaust on here again. And I'm going to be using today the Weathermaster C. So let's bring it down here. This Weathermaster C I'm starting to run low on. As you can see, I use it quite a bit. Time for a new Q-tip. All I'm using is dollar store Q-tips. These are the pointy ones. They're a little firmer. They work fantastic for this, and I feel like I'm in a little too close here to keep everything in the center of the frame and my fat head out of the frame. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to just load it up with this rust. And as you can see, I use the rust a lot more than the gunmetal or the silver. And then I'm going to take it, and we're going to start on the mufflers, because those are what's going to rust the most. I'm going to bring you right up because it's easier for me to hold it and tilt it just a little bit so that I can see and not get my dang head in the way. And I am going to rust these mufflers out. This is going to be a runner, a shower. So when you run these things, these exhausts back in the day would rust out pretty quick. I'm happy with that. Let's load this up and do the other one. And this is all I'm doing, is kind of just pushing this stuff in here. And now what I want to do is I want to show you how I'm doing this, and then next, right after I'm done with this, so if you don't want to watch me do this and weather my exhaust with the panel liner and everything, you can jump ahead. I'm going to weather the entire thing with Pastels, so including the tires. So now here I don't want as much, but I still want some, because I want a little bit of color between this and the transmission. So I'm just going to come around, get everything in here. I might get a little bit on here like that. I'm not worried about it. You'll see why here in a few. We're just going down around where you can see it when you pick it up and look. Like anybody's going to ever do that after I finish. But you know what? We all know it's there. Especially now that it's on camera here. This goes quick. It only takes about 5-10 minutes to do the whole thing. That's why I decided I'm going to start doing some of this stuff live instead of just blah, blah, blah. And saying, yep, this is what I did. Now you can see what I did and find out how easy it is. I don't think that Weathermaster kit is that expensive. I've had it for several years now, so I don't really remember how much I paid for it. I also drilled out the exhaust on here. I used a drill, my pin vise, and then I used a little Dremel tool by hand to open it up. All right. I think I'm happy with that. And to be honest with you, you could walk away proud just like that. Be done. Hey, look, it's weathered. And it does look pretty good, but we can take panel liner and go one step farther here. I've got another Q-tip. I go through these things like water. And I like to... got a piece in that corner, didn't like. I like to start with the mufflers. Always. I don't know why. Now I got my visor down. We're going to leave this sit, and we're just going to kind of dab. Well, trust me, I'm not leaving it like this. But you actually could. First time I did, and once it dried, it spread out. But this helps sell the metal look to it. You'll see here in a second what I'm talking about. Take this and just kind of all over the place. Spread that out. And I'm just kind of pushing it around. Try to stay even. Come around the sides a little bit. You see I really blew that side. I didn't get it very well. How about if I get back in the center here? And I'm just here, there, and everywhere. And there you can really see what I was after. See the difference there? I'll bring that right up. See how that looks? That looks pretty dang good. So we're going to continue on here. Now with the exhaust, since it's such a small radius, you can get away with just kind of doing this. And streaking it up a little bit. Just try to stay asymmetric with it. You know, what you do on one side, try not to do on the other. And this goes quick, I'm telling you. Very quick. Hit it where you think you want it. Like I always say, it's yours. And if you don't want to do it, you want to make it look brand spanking new, that's fine. Nobody can tell you different. Like I said, your build, your fun. There we go. I'm almost down to the nitty gritty here. Wah, wah, wah. This goes quick. And I kind of make it go quick just to force me to not overdo it. I've done that too. And there. The last thing I'm going to do, I'll bring it up and show you. See there? Now we got rusted out mufflers and everything like that. Let's take this Q-tip and try to get some of this wiped down. And that'll just all fall into line with everything else. Because we're not done yet. Oh, there's a little too much in that edge. We're not done yet. But see, now that's showing a little dirt under there. Doo-doo-doo. I'm going to keep going here while you're live. I'm going to pull out my pastels. And I've had a bunch of people saying they want to learn more about how these pastels work, especially when I talk about doing them on the tires. So let's back up some here so we can get the whole thing in. And what I'm going to do today is just a simple tire. We're going to go, let's start with this. There's no right way to do this. There's probably 1,000 different ways you can do it. There's no wrong way you can do it. Just try to stay going the same direction as the tire would rotate. You know what I mean? Don't go crossways this way. That's all I would recommend. These tires are rocking, man. They're directional. But if I try to tilt it a little, get my dang hand out the way so you can see that laying down on there. And that's all I'm doing is just dusting these things. Just like that. Give a little dirt in there. If it had a big ridge on it or something like that, I would sand it first. But I found that sanding them, you know, I've seen a bunch of people, they put them on drills and things like that. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bad way to do it. I did it that way for a long time. But I found that a little bit of pastels really goes a long way. That's one color. Now we'll go with the brown. And you see I'm just taking an old angle brush that I cut back and wore out over the years. And now we're just going to really just, all I'm doing is dusting it, guys. That's it. Just giving it some road dirt. Usually I do it off the car, but I wanted to see the stance on this so bad that I had to put it on there. There's the tire. Look at the difference between those two. How awesome is that? You get any on the sidewall? Run your finger around it, and it'll come right off because that's smoother, and the pastels don't have anything to grip to. But there's the tires, and I'll do the other 3 off camera, but you can't get any easier than that. Now let's do this body a little bit, and I'm not worried about the quick shine being dried out or anything. I'm going to come out a little bit farther just so I can move around a little bit and not lose you. I will start again with my tried and true Desert Tan, and you got to think the car's going this way, so your brush strokes should always be this way, just like on the tires. If you start going sideways, it shows up. It really does. So let's start out front, and we'll do just real quick. And what this will do for you is it'll age the car just a smidge, and it'll show highlights. And I have done this, I still do this often, with acrylics and dry brush it. But I want a lighter darkness. See how that's not a whole lot going on there, but it is showing dirt. And you'll really see that when we come down here. A little much, wipe what you're thinking. You can use a Q-tip, you can use your finger, you can use whatever. And you see I'm staying on top right now. I will go around. I'm just kind of laying this stuff in heavy and having fun. This is a blast. Now here we go. The tires are going to kick up that dirt, and that's where it's going to hit. So I go back and I hit those next. Around here, like I said, usually the wheels aren't in the way. You know what? The wheels don't have to be in the way. This is a snap kit. Oh. So let's dirty these up. There's no really wrong way to do this. I'm just trying to remember which way everything travels, just to kind of get it to go in the right direction. Do this side next. And with this, I try to do the same thing on both sides, just so I'm kind of staying in tune with what I'm doing. Let's go back here a little bit. Now, we'll come over, we'll do the frame, the side of the frame, real quick. And if this bores you, you can jump into the rest of it. I'm going to talk about the interior and the body here too today. But I did want to show you how this is done. I'm tired of telling everybody and saying, yep, blah, 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 and this is how we do it, and then leaving it at that when it's just as easy to say, hey, check this out. So here we go. I won't do this on every video. I'll go back to that, but this will be a good come back to reference video. Let's get some down inside there. Right in there. Look at that show up now. See there? The frame rail's starting to dirty up. Inside, look at inside there, how that, now that pops. So I got a big spot on there. Did you see that? I didn't even notice that. I must have hit it when I was panel liner. It must have dripped off, but check out how cool that ended up. What did Bob used to say? Happy little accident. Hit that engine. And I'm going to do this with the brown too. Let's come down here real quick. And it's weathering, so don't worry about abusing it a little bit. You can't go wrong. You can't get more in there than what you care for. I've done that several times, and just it's like, oh well, no biggie. And if it really bugs you, you can come back with a little bit of quick shine and wash it out just by running it. The quick shine will kind of pick this up and It lightens it out, but it also will gloss it, and that's not a something you might want. But see here how that really shows up the detail. So stinking simple to add so much to a kit. And honestly, I don't have a clue of how much these pastels would cost now, because this pastel set is gotta be, oh shoot, probably 20 years old now. And I use it a lot. I really do. It just goes, I mean, you can see all I'm doing is rubbing some off of it there to highlight what we want. And it brings up the details, man, that's for sure. All that work that you did in there to make sure this was nice and evenly painted just pays off right now. Because it'll show it. Come down in here. Get up there where the pressure washer never goes. And I'm just beating it. I mean, I'm just slamming it in there. Just easy, 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 easy. Now you're going to get dirt up on here, like that. I'm going to cross it, back behind it. I want some more on here. The gas tank won't show it as much, but it does show. Let's see, we do some on this axle. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I'm 14 days into a snap tight kit just because of all the little extra stuff that I do, but I'm getting my money's worth out of it. Well, I'm getting Lenny's money's worth out of this for sure. He sent me this one. Luke was going to work side by side with me, but he's got a broken flipper, so he's not going to be able to build for a little bit. We'll get him going, and I'll have him stop in and say hi to everybody a couple of times here, and there we go. And also when we do our 24-hour build, I will do that too. Let me stop here for a second. Mentioning the 24-hour build, October 11th at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to start this group build. There's going to be myself, Bruce, and KRD Design, Bruce's Eclectic World, and KRD Klein Racing Design, all teaming up online for 24 hours straight. We're going to have to break it. We can't just go straight 24 hours because YouTube has restrictions on that. So we're going to follow their restrictions, so we'll have to break and then come back and restart. But we're not going to stop building for 24 hours, start to finish kit. And we've even talked about, and I don't know how you think, let me know in the comments, we were talking about taking the cars that we build and putting them on eBay for a auction, which I think would be pretty cool. And we also have, I'm going to set a GoFundMe up. I'm going to start it actually this week for donations. We're going to do the cancer awareness. And I think this is going to be a great cause. I really do. Good way to show the community that us model builders do care. We're not just people that hide in the basement and shy away from everybody, which we do. Another thing, since we're talking about the community, I will be in just south of Toledo, May 24th, I think it is. I'm shooting from the hip here, guys, but May 24th, I'm pretty sure, for a model show. And I'm going to take the Red Demon there, show her off, get her out. I redid the software a little bit, so she'll run constant without a remote. And I think she's going to look really fun. I'm hoping to have a good turnout there. I've never been to this show before. And I'll put the information in the description of that too. I will do a video while I'm there, as long as they are okay with it. I haven't emailed them or anything yet. So I never want to do a video in public without permission of the people that are running the shows. But I'm almost done here. I'll come back and touch this up off camera. No, I won't. I'm not messing with that one bit. How's that? Down the dirt road. We'll throw the tires back on it, and real quick, because I want to show you the stance here. What I'm doing with this is did I do that right? Yeah. No, that's backwards. Isn't it? Yes, it is. Directional tires. No, I was right the first time. Jeez, oh Pete. But what I'm doing with the stance on this thing, since I can, is the front I have all the way on the upper hole. The back I got on the lower hole, which will give me a nice rake to this kit when it's done. But now all that work just went upside down. But if anybody wants to take that thing and look at it, that thing's been on the road. It's not just sitting there on a trailer going places. And again, check out the difference between those two front tires. I'll get the other ones off camera. Let's move forward. But again, it's just a Hobby Lobby basic kit. It's an angled brush that's been beat through the woods several times. I used to use this on wood parks products when I was doing scroll sawing. But there we go. Let's move that and move on. I polished the body, got it ready for bare metal foil. It came out really good. I'm happy with it. The only thing is I got a little heavy right there and went through to the body. And if this wasn't that dark gray, I think I would have resprayed that. But you know, if it was showing white. But the way it is right now, I'm going to leave it. And this came out very nice. The only thing I did to this was polished it. No clear coat, no nothing. This is Tammy's acrylic X1 gloss black, straight out of that brand new TG airbrush that Gallery put out. And man, I'm telling you, I love that brush. I really, this is the second time I've done black that it's come out like that without me doing diddly squat to it. Can you imagine if I put a clear coat on that? I'm not going to, because I want it to be this way. I don't want it any deeper than that. But there's the body ready for BMF. Here's the bare metal foil. I just took a little piece off of it, but it's always so nice. It's like a brand new roll of toilet paper when you start your bare metal foil. Let's talk interior now, because I'm really jazzed about my interior. I'm going to bring you in. This interior was molded red. Like I said, it's a snap-tight kit. It was kind of a weird-looking red color, so I switched over to flat red, and that's just Tamiya's XF7 flat red. Sprayed the whole thing. Boom, done. Came back after that dried for about a day and a half, and I hit it with my Quick Shine. And Quick Shine, everybody's asking me about Quick Shine and where to get it. I found this on Amazon and I overbought. I got 64 stinking ounces of this thing. But that's all it is. Multi-surface floor finish. I use it just like I used to use the Future Floor Polish and Pledge. It's a little thinner, but it still works pretty good for me. But I did the seats and, well, that's it here on the seats. And the back panel right here. And you can see the difference between the leathery looking seats and the flat on the carpet. And that's all I was looking for, is just get that break in between the two of them. I use my, here it is, Green Stuff brush on chrome to do the back burners on the seats. Did them here too. And I also use that to paint the window cranks on here. And it works great until you don't wait for it to dry and you stick your mitts in it. And I got to redo this back one when I did the bare metal foil on here. And this is, time to back you out again. I'm loving my new camera. This is the difference between the bare metal foil and the knot. I just laid it down on those trims. I was told that this is supposed to be body paint, but the car that I'm following, this was red. So I'm going to leave this red because I like the way it showed up through the body of the car. That trim where your arm rests. I thought it did, and then I was thinking, okay, I'm wrong, which usually I am. And then I looked at that picture again, and I was like, nope, that's red on this one. So I'm going to follow suit on that. But I do appreciate being called out on it, because I would rather be called out and be absolutely wrong and redo it than not be called out and do it and then be wrong and everybody's laughing at you. Nobody laughs at you, but you know what I mean. But anyhow, there we go with the door panel. This one is done. The black on here, and you can see how that's like a semi-gloss, and it does look kind of leathery. That is just my real black. I put it in a spoon and painted it direct. And this is how flat that real black is. I mean, it's flat. And that's one coat of Quick Shine over that acrylic, over just the craft paint. And this is accent. They don't make accent. Apple Barrel makes it. It's just black. Just get the flat black. It's the same stuff. This is just, I still have this much of it, and so I don't want to go out and buy any new. But that's what it is. And then when you hit that with the Quick Shine, man, it sucks it right in there, and it gives you a nice even coat. So I use that Quick Shine a lot. Next is something I'm really happy with, my dash. This is, again, I painted it the flat red, let it sit, hit it with the Quick Shine over, let that sit for, a couple of days. And then again, I came back in with my mini brush and the Green Stuff chrome, and I hand painted that chrome in there. And I'm glad I did, because I first tried to use bare metal foil, and that went horribly wrong. Just because the knobs stick up so high, and it started to crunch around the knobs. But I left the chrome, I left sit overnight, walked away proud, came back, I painted the knobs, just the tips of the knobs, because that's the way it is on the one I'm doing. Black, just wrung the tips. I had decals. I wanted white decals in this, because that's what the one I'm following had. So I had those off of, I think, a Roadster or something. And they fit in there perfect. And then you could see the top indicators. I hit them with the chrome, let them sit overnight, and with the other. And then I came back. The two outer ones are clear green. The one on the right is red, and the one on the left is blue for high beams. So there's the interior. I did down where the vents are, and I painted the clock a white face and then tried to juice it up a little bit, and that's the best it's going to get because I went a little heavy with the chrome. But it still looks great. So, geez. And the last thing is my steering wheel. I wanted it to be darker red than the body. And I wanted to show off the same color on the stick shift, or the gear lever and the turn signal. And all that is a piece of green craft wire that I had, the floral wire. I drilled holes in there, ran them long, painted them chrome, cut them off to size, and then took Mod Podge and put on the ends, let it dry and hit it with the red. And I wanted that red that are on those shift levers to be the same red, which is a little darker, on my steering wheel. So the chrome sat for a couple of days before I came back and I painted that dark red on there, or regular red. That's the X whatever. That's the X7 on there. And it'll just give another contrast to it. The steering wheels always seem like they're darker anyhow. The center, I don't think it's supposed to have the red in there, but I just wanted to break up that big hunk of chrome because it was kind of out of scale. So that'll look good just sitting down there. It'll look like a little oven was going to add to it. Now with that and everything that we got done, I think I can let you go. Next one on this will be done. I'll probably be done with this tomorrow afternoon if I get a chance to work on it. So with that, I will let you go. Again, don't forget about our 24-hour build in October. Find yourself a build. We will be live, the three of us. And I think we're going to try to bring people in and out as the night goes on. Zach's going to be my wingman, and he's going to be reading all the comments, so we'll be able to keep up with the live chat. I want to thank Gallery. Geez, you saw that black. That's the TG, that brand new one. And it's at a good price right now. Use Grandpa Mark for the coupon code. You'll get 10% off of your entire order. I want to thank our veterans, first responders, and active duty men and women. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. And I also want to thank Jason, Mike, and Bruce for everything. They're keeping me sane and kind of keeping me tied down. But you got to watch their Automotive Model Car Livecast on Thursdays at 8. It's a blast. I literally belly laugh the whole time I'm there. So with that, I'm almost done. I'm excited now to get this thing wrapped up. And I got another one in the wings that I'm going to start. So with that, I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day, a better tomorrow, and thank you very much for watching.